You're watching Political Insight with Senator Bob McKnight.
All right, we're back with Senator Bob McKnight, and this week we're talking about the Florida Tea Party. Certainly they're growing when it comes to their influence. You especially saw that during the election for Senator Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Now his counterpart, Senator Bill Nelson's up for election. He's got a number of Republican contenders running against him. So what kind of role are they going to play in Bill Nelson's election?
I think it's going to be a major role. Now, at this point, I don't think you've seen them really surface. And the main reason is, for the most part, Greg, they're going to gravitate toward the Republicans. They're going to, some of them I think are already kind of split between Congressman Mack, who is running against Senator Lemieux. There is a good chance former Congressman Weldon will get in the race. So you're probably going to have the Tea Party split among the three candidates until they get to the convention, where there ought to be some consensus.
And kind of with that, there's a lot of big names Democratic side, a lot of big names on the Republican side. What about the Tea Party for Florida? Any major names? Who's kind of organizing their efforts?
That's a good question. It's kind of the beauty and the bane. The beauty is it's a very diverse group. There's a lot of grassroots kind of expression of interest. But there isn't a real structure. There isn't a singular spokesperson for them. Now, I think you can probably look for U.S. Senator Jim DeMint to probably be the main spokesperson. He has actually been involved in probably 10 U.S. Senate races, and I think the Nelson race will be one in which he will weigh in. He's a very influential senator, isn't really a powerful member of the Senate, but he can control, or at least he has in the past, controlled the Tea Party.
And again, kind of going back in that race, it'll be interesting to see, because if they kind of divide the Republican vote, because they're, the Republicans in the race. So where do you think some of that support may be divvied off to? Who may be at an advantage when it comes to the Republicans gaining the taxpayer votes?
Good question, Greg.
Or Tea Party votes, I should say.
Yeah, and I think first, for sure, there will not be express support for, Senator Nelson. Second, Greg, I think probably the Republicans are going to try to withhold a consensus among the Tea Party until some of the big heavyweights, you mentioned Senator Rubio, former Governor Jeb Bush still has great influence in the Republican Party. I think the two incoming presiding officers in the legislature, Senator Gates and Representative Weatherford. So I think until those folks all come to some kind of a consensus, you probably won't see a full-blown commitment. But after that happens, I think the Tea Party will be behind the Republican candidate.
And real quick, we've only got about 20 seconds. Prior election, Senator Bill Nelson running for Senate. What factor do you think the Tea Party will play on this year for his reelection this year? Is there a new dynamic involved in that?
Well, I think there will be, certainly as it relates to the president's new position on gay rights, on the issue of the health care bill. Now, Nelson has taken kind of a mid-position on the gay rights issue, but he was one of the swing votes on the so-called Obamacare. So both of those clearly rile up the Tea Party. Yes, I think you'll see major players in this campaign.
Interesting stuff. Senator McKnight, thank you much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, time now. We want to head over to Mika, see what's coming up next. Hi, Mika.